I am so excited today. Today is July 29th, and I just downloaded the Windows 10 commercial release. Uh, that's exciting, but anyway, uh, I'm using Unreal Engine 4.7.2, and I was going to show you guys how to make really cool stuff with this Foliage tab. Pretty exciting. Okay, so let's get rid of everything in our scene. So let's select everything. Okay, now there is our brush. Now if we hold down Shift, we can delete items in our scene that we placed with the foliage tab thing. Zoom out. Let's increase our draw size just to make this easier. Hold down Shift. Okay, now we are back to square one. Okay, this level is not terribly exciting, but just to fully illustrate this foliage tab, let's delete all of our items in this scene. So right click, remove, or you can select an item to highlight it in orange and then press delete, delete, delete. Okay, now we have nothing. Our foliage tab is blank. In the content browser, you can download the open world demo kit. So that is the kite demo, and then you can use anything, any static mesh you can drag in here, you can paint on in your scene. Pretty exciting. So let's start out with some grass. Let's see. Wait. Okay, foliage, grass, field grass, and this is the static mesh. Field grass, small. Okay. Click and drag, right there, and it creates patches of grass. But it's not enough, so let's select it, giving us options, and then right here is the density. Let's increase this quite a bit. 1000, that's good. Now click and drag and move up just so we can paint on other places. Now we've got grass all over the place. Okay. Ooh, look at that. That's so pretty. Just from this foliage tab. And each of these instances is like very minuscule in rendering memory and stuff. So it doesn't do a lot to your game performance. Yeah, oh, this is my fancy weapon that I'm designing. And we've got a nice patch of grass. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Now we need some flowers. So foliage, flowers, filled scabbard something. Okay, yeah. So what we're looking for is the static mesh, and if you look at the resource at the very bottom of that menu, 285 kilobytes. That's not very intense. So we can, that's not something you have to worry about with the initial things you drag in there, but if you have a few items that are very geometry intense and stuff, that it wears on your computer eventually. Okay, so now we've got our grass, and now we've got this first patch of flowers that we're going to paint. So let's reduce the draw size, or brush size, and paint some flowers. Perfect. Now our game is coming to life. Now let's go back to flowers and heather. That's nice. Okay. Looking at the resource size, that's good. Click and drag. Okay, now we can paint on heather. So let's move out. Okay, nice patch of heather in the middle. Perfect. Okay, now all we need is rocks, because we are gonna fall off. Watch this. This is what happens if we. Yay! I love flowers. Love flowers. So pretty. So pretty. Ah, I just fell off because there's nothing to stop me. Moving up. Okay. I need to increase my speed. Camera speed. Right. 5. Okay, that's good. Okay, now this is complete besides I need something, an enclosure. So let's go back to kite demo. Okay, environments. Rocks. Okay. Ground. No, that's not a good one. Let's do large volcanic rock. I like. Okay. It's got a little bit more kilobytes, but it doesn't matter. So let's click and drag. And now we're going to focus on painting rocks in our scene. If we just click and drag and paint the rocks, that might be too many rocks. So Control Z, let's select the rock and decrease the density quite a bit. So rocks show up every once in a while. But we're trying to make a border, so let's, since we're trying to make a border, let's increase it real quick. Okay, now we've got a rocky border. Nice. Okay, now real quick, we've got a pretty little grassy scene, kind of like we had in the beginning. But if we play, everything looks good, and those look as strong as can be, but you'll notice that we just walk through everything, and we still fall off the cliff. The reason that is happening is because the rocks that we place don't have any collision, so if we select the rocks that we are trying to drag into our scene, or have already in our scene, and we move all the way to the bottom of this menu drop down, collision presets is set to no collision. Now this is just something that I do. There are a lot of different presets in here, but block all dynamic, if we if we play in our scene, we can shoot the rocks, and we can't move past the rocks, so they are solid as a rock. And we can move over them and jump on them and things like that. So now we've got a full game. Pretty intense. And in my next few videos, I'm going to illustrate more of this wonderful foliage tab. You can paint hundreds of thousands of these instances in your scene, and you can make anything you want to. So let's turn everything back on. Okay. Now hold down Shift and delete everything. Okay. Including that little bush thing. Okay, now we're back to where we started. Oh, okay. Everything is gone. And you can see that because they have 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, we can go into each of these. This is pretty cool, by the way. Okay, and let's drop this down. Okay, 4. And then 493. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, let's have a lot of flowers. A lot of flowers. Okay. And then not too many of these. Okay. And then you have all of these turned on, and then you can paint in your scene, and it populates your world with your foliage items with the parameters that you set just a few seconds ago. So we can press play. Okay. Okay. Pretty flowers. I can jump over rocks and... Right. Yes. Isn't that great? So you can... One more thing. Okay. let's Control Z, back to where we were. These rocks are too big. So down here a little ways, oh yeah, still in the painting area, you can adjust the scale. So right now it's set to 1:1, so that's normal rock size. You could, let's see, the max or the minimum should be 0.2 and then 3, which would be bigger than it was. So sometimes you'll have big rocks and sometimes you'll have small rocks, but we can't see that right now. So now we've got small rocks and lots of pretty flowers. Isn't this the coolest thing in the whole world? So fantastic. Now anybody can make sophisticated looking games that capture our imagination and things like that, just with any type of foliage item that you could think of placing in your games. So now we have a big huge rock in the middle that we can walk around and interact with. Pretty intense. So if anybody likes this video and wants to see more, because I'm excited to make more of these videos, please subscribe and stay tuned for more. Look at those pretty flowers. I would like to say that I made those and imported them into Unreal, but I just used the open world geometry pack or something, which is freely available to anybody. Thanks for watching, everybody.